Today we are going to do some balancing postures together. We're going to start with tree pose. To do tree pose, you're going to just come to like a normal standing position, nice and grounded on the floor. When you're ready, begin to shift your weight into the right side, making sure not to go too far, not to dip into it, just nice and strong, a micro bend in the knee. And then bring your arms out for balance. Turn your left foot out so that you're opening up this leg and slowly bring it over to the right leg. Okay, so here you can just do this and just make sure your weight is in the right side. You're still getting that balance from this. You can also get a block and put a block under your foot here to hold you, and you can move that block to the different levels to get comfortable at those different levels. And then when you're ready, you can remove the block and we'll do it fully this time. So we're moving our weight into the right side, turning our hip out, bringing our foot over, making sure our hips are nice and square with the front of the room. Go ahead and bring your arms up or out, however that's comfortable for you, and find a focal point in the room. And then you'll slowly start to slide that foot up your leg. You can stop here. You can come higher. Some folks can bring it up even higher like so. This is fine as long as you're not pressing into the leg. You don't want, especially on your knee, you don't want a lot of pressure there. It's balance on your right. So keep it open, and then when you're ready, bring your arms up, and you are in a lovely tree pose. Let's do it again on the other side. Keep it nice and even. So we're going to now shift our weight into our left side, turn our right foot out, bring it towards you. Decide if you need a block. As always, it is fine to need something different on each side. So from here, we'll slowly bring our leg up. If you need a block, grab one. You can keep going to wherever it's most comfortable for you. I'm going to keep it here for this one. So this is on my calf, but it is not pressing into my calf. I can also do my knee, but I do not press into my knee. That's not safe for your knee joint, so don't do that. So just be wherever you can be, where everything's in your left and your right's just kind of hanging in this shape. When you're ready, go ahead and bring your arms up. And you're in lovely tree pose. Come on out. Our next pose is eagle pose. And so I'm going to show you what to do with the arms and legs first, and then we'll move into the full posture. Also a great one to have a block for. So for the arms, raise your arms up high. Bring your right arm down and to the side, kind of like parallel with the shoulder. Then bring your left arm underneath it and then wrap it around, and you're touching palms here. If your palms don't touch, then I recommend that you just keep it here, and then slowly you can move it around until your palms can touch. So this is what the arms do. So right now my left arm is on the bottom, which means my left leg will be on the top. So on the bottom, I like to come into a very like small mini chair maybe, and then I start like this with my hands at heart center. You're going to shift your weight into your right leg, lift the left leg and cross it over, and then this is where the block would go. You can have a block right here to lean on. It's also okay to kind of try it out a few times and then come back in. So then you can lift that leg and wrap it around. Then do the same with the arms. Whatever leg is on top, that arm is on bottom. And you're in a nice eagle pose. You can go lower. You can hinge. But this is eagle. Come on out. All right. We'll do it once on the other side. Sink. Shift our weight to the left side. Lift our right leg. Come over, either on a block or tuck it around. Arms, right leg's on top, so the right arm's on bottom. Whoop, and wrap. And there we go. There's our eagle. Come on out. All right, so that's eagle pose. We'll move on to our next posture. The next posture we're going to do today is Warrior 3. So start by turning towards the short end of your mat. What you're going to do is move the weight into your left leg, Get nice and stable there, making sure not to dip into your hip. When you're ready, you'll bring your right leg up and you're going to kick it back while you hinge forward at the hips with your arms out. So keep a focal point, make sure your hips are staying nice and level, not kind of twisting one way or the other. And here we go. So we will be here, start to hinge forward a little, and then start bringing the other leg up. Notice my left leg does have a small bend in it, keeping your focal point until you're in your warrior three. And then when you're ready, slowly come up and out. We'll do the other side. Okay, a little bit of a squat, moving into the right foot, making sure we're not on the right side of the foot. We're using the whole foot pad to keep our balance, especially in that space just below your toes on the pad of your foot. Lots of stability there. Okay, when we're ready, we'll start to hinge and lift our leg. Really challenge that balance. Keep breathing. When you're ready, you'll come up gently and controlled. And that is warrior three. Our next pose is called half moon. Half moon is a pose that kind of takes us balanced and sideways. And so a couple of things to remember here is go slow, have blocks. I'm going to model with blocks today, and then I'll just talk through what you would do if you didn't have blocks, because I'll hold it a while to describe things. So here we go. We're going to start with our feet hip distance apart, and then I'm going to step my left foot out like I would for warrior two, and then the right foot back into a warrior two, like so. What you're going to do next is hinge forward and then tip, and you can start to straighten that front leg. Then you're going to walk your other leg over, get nice and firm in your left leg, find where your block makes sense, and then when you're ready, lift the other leg, the nice flexed foot, making sure that your hip is stacked on top. And then this is half moon. If you did not want to use a block, you would just remove it and go to the floor. Keep breathing. When you're done, press up. Nice gentle landing. We'll do the other side. Let's do it from a wide stance this time, because you'll often come to this from triangle. So we'll do it that way this time. So we're here, we lean forward, tuck down like for triangle, and then we'll shift our weight over to the right. Breathe, slowly lift that leg until you're like so. Now I'm looking forward. If your balance is good and you feel great here, you can start to slowly shift your gaze up to your fingertips. Keep breathing. When you've had enough of that, gently bend into the knee, step up, nice and controlled. Our final pose today is going to be dancer pose. Full disclosure, dancer pose is one that gives me a little trouble. So as we're in it, if you see me wiggle and wobble or grab the wall, just note that those are things you can do as you're learning to do this posture and growing in your practice as well. I have a block. I don't go low enough for a block yet, but I wanted to model that you can have it there to grab if you start to fall forward. If you're going to fall, just come out. It's really difficult to save dancer, so if you start to fall, just come out and try to stand up before you can fall over. We'll start on this side. So I'm facing the short side of my mat, and we'll begin to shift my weight into the right, and then slowly, as I'm making sure I have found stability, really engaging all the way down the thigh, really engaging my abdominal muscles and keeping my back nice and straight, as straight as I can. Then what you'll do is slowly shift that weight, bring the other leg up, and grab the foot and hold it here. This is a perfectly acceptable dancer pose. It's like variation 1. If this feels really good to you and you want to try to challenge yourself or go a little bit deeper, then you'll just kick into your hand pretty hard, and as you kick, you'll hinge at the hips forward, making sure you have a strong focal point. Here we go. Keep breathing. And then when you're ready, come on out. Let's do the other side. Facing the other side of my mat, I'm going to shift my weight into the left leg. Slowly begin to pull it up and back. And this can be my dancer, or if I would like more, I can kick into my hand, making sure my hips stay level, my chest stays nice and strong, my abs are engaged. Grab your wall if you need to. Then arm out and slowly begin to hinge as you kick into your hand. There we go. When you've had enough, kick out, and you're all done with dancer pose. Thank you so much for joining us to learn a little bit about some balancing postures. Take your time, keep trying them over and over again. Allow for some gradual but steady improvement. Stay happy and healthy, and as always, feel free to come back anytime.